So, this, an organic, cage-free chicken egg, is what we're talking about. Should vegans eat them or not? Well, if you consider that a vegan is someone that doesn't ingest or use any kind of animal product, then I guess no. But there are some that say that there's some that say you need animal products to some degree for the nutrients to like survive or thrive. And they're saying, and there's some like vegans saying that no, you don't need it. You can just supplement with like B12 vitamins or like a B12 shot to get by. And if you look at it, if your argument is the whole ethic moral thing, then basically with the chicken egg, if you can get organic, free range, cage free, whatever, or even like get it like from a local farmer near you, then is there even an argument there? Are they going to say the whole chicken egg industry as a whole is killing? Well, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying get your specific eggs. Or there's some people that like have their own chickens. Whether you need like the proteins and the fats and the vitamins that come from this, or even for the people that are like thinking vegetarian or vegan. Well, technically you'd be vegetarian at that point once you introduce this into your system, because you can't have eggs, you can't have honey. So there's that. So why am I talking about it? So essentially back in 2014, I'm like, oh, I'll just do, as kind of a health thing. I did vegetarian for a little bit. Then I kind of heard about like dairy stuff because it can be kind of bad too. So I basically did, like the full-on vegan thing. And I've always done this for like a health reason, but I mean, when you get into it, there's the whole ethical, moral thing that falls into it as well. So essentially, I've been doing it for like 4.5 years now, or whatever. I'm like, all right, but I think it's funny the whole like you hear like certain people saying, oh, you can eat if you eat like the vegan food, you can eat as much as you want, and you can sit on the couch all day and you won't gain weight. Which I've heard people say that, and that's not true. Because with the vegan thing, you're putting in a ton of carbs. And I lost weight doing it. Like I'm like, like cycling and stuff too. I did the whole vegan and cycling thing, but the cycling was more of a financial thing than it was necessarily a straight up health thing. But I kind of got into it. I kind of like cycling and stuff. But like during the summer, I would cycle, and then according to that, like obviously when it's wintertime, I would still like bike to work, but I can't go out and ride for like a long period of time. So I'd actually like on the winter, I'd put like 20 pounds back on. I'm like, oh, well, that's obviously not fucking true. So there's that little argument. But then again, it boils down to genetics too, because there's some people that can eat whatever the fuck they want. And then you have a six-pack, and there's some people that have to like be very strict with what they eat. So I think a lot of people don't take that into consideration when they're doing their diet. But back to the egg part, like I grew up eating eggs, so I'm experimenting with my diet. So I reintroduced eggs back into it just to see what I mean. I feel fine. And I also started doing intermittent fasting. Intermediate fasting as well. And that's for like maybe the last couple of days, and I feel great on that too. But I know I would eat, like I'd eat, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 calorie like meals of like rice and beans and all this stuff, and I would feel full, I'd even eat so much. Sometimes like I'd get like a pain in my shoulder, which isn't good. But like I'd never be. It became hard to have like a feeling of like satiation, to be satiated. So I'm like trying the eggs. I've been eating eggs maybe what, a week or two or something like that. So I'm just trying that to see how that goes, and it seems to be working, I guess. I'm feeling fine. So I'm just wondering if what people may have to say if you're like vegan and you throw eggs into your diet. I mean, if you do it correctly, like the whole ethical, moral reason's not there anymore. I mean, those chickens, regardless of whether you pick up those eggs or not, like they're laying the eggs. But I have a feeling like it'd be like some people's like, oh, they're raping all those chickens and making them do this thing. I'm like, no, there's nothing. It's like a woman that has like an ovulation every month. It's going to happen. Then there's the whole issue. I mean, you don't want to get a bunch of chickens like in a tight cage and all that stuff, where they're just like packed in there and they have all kinds of like diseases and shit. But if you get the proper ones, because I'm doing cage-free, organic, and I may look into a possible local thing. I don't know. I'm kind of broke or cheap or whatever you want to call it, like in general. So I'm trying to get certain needs met at the best price. But I figure I'd throw that out there, see what people have to say. Because I know with honey too, there's this whole issue of like, oh, you're stealing their food. And then again, there's a possibility like they're going, you don't know which flowers or plants that these bees are going to, so you could be like microdosing yourself with like certain toxins. How much truth there is to that, and how much that would affect you, I don't know. I also would say, if you're going vegetarian, cutting out meat, super simple, incredibly easy. But when you take it a step further and you're going vegan, like everything you buy has like milk derivatives in it. Like I've tried to buy, unless you like buy everything in whole plant form and you cook it yourself, which a lot of people don't have time for. I know there's gonna be people like, oh, you're just being like, I cook like almost every night, and I cook my breakfast and I cook my dinner. But I mean, still, there's like certain things you can't. If you're buying at a grocery store, you can't avoid. So, no, I haven't had any like blood level checks. I haven't done. If anybody says it, and like, no, I'm just eating it. I'm going off by it. Now, whether I go in and start using like actual meat or like bone broth or any of that thing, probably not. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to do this for like, I'm probably going to do it for forever now. But I was going to do it for like at least a month or so to give it like a 30-day period of time to see how it feels, reacts or whatever. Because I did it for like 2 weeks and I started doing intermediate fasting. Today's Tuesday and I started doing that like late Friday, Thursday. And I think that in itself has a ton of benefits too with, was it autopathy or whatever you call it? So that's pretty interesting. But I think with the eggs, there's something in the eggs that has like this, because I do 6 whole eggs and like 4 pieces like wheat toast. I may eventually switch it to oatmeal. Because I'm kind of getting into, there's this whole thing about like bread and like pasta. Like it's hard for your body to digest it, or it's like empty carbs, and like you should switch it to, I guess rice is good, and you can do like zucchini pasta, and all this other stuff. I'm experimenting a little bit by little bit, to see what makes me feel the best. Because I know I was talking about cycling, like when I'd go out and cycle. I'd get off work and like during the summer, especially, I'd go off and cycle for a few hours each day, and like, yeah, I mean, if you're like doing that, or if you run for like an hour a day, or if you're doing like a good amount of cardio, like a good amount, like it burns, it seems to like it burns glycogen, and you're eating like a lot of carbs and stuff. Like it seems to like it'll go off that way. But if it's like wintertime, you're working a lot, maybe you're working more than one job, like me. I mean, there's just a lot to it. So, I don't know. Like I said, I just want to kind of throw this out there. See what people say. See what people think. Because I know vegans get a bad rap because there's like a small minority of loud assholes. I think for the most part, I mean, whether they're doing it for health or whatever. Like you should definitely, your health should come over other things. You shouldn't like sacrifice your health for supposed ethics and morals. But there's also this weird alliance starting to form between vegans and people that hunt for their own food. Like obviously they're not for it, but they understand that that's a lot better than like the factory farming. So yeah, I think I'm gonna wanna get that out there. See what people think or say or whatever. Whether I'm like completely off base, whether I'm missing something about the egg thing. Because I know if you get the factory farmed eggs, it's bad. So I'm like trying to stay away from those. But alright. So you can like it if you think it's a good idea. You can dislike it if you think I'm a terrible fucking person now. Leave me a comment saying I'm personally raping animals. That'd be cool. I don't know, I'm except for the eggs, I'm still vegan, which doesn't make you vegan, so I guess I'm vegetarian now. Whatever. I'm just giving it a try. Who knows? But yeah, I'm just really curious what people say about that. Kind of get a little conversation going on here. And also I want to start doing like kind of recording the whole intermittent fasting. That seems to be pretty powerful so far. Just a few days I've done it. I don't know. We'll see. Peace and all that good stuff. Catch you later.